So today it's raining and it's cool. Hello, yay. Yeah. So you may have noticed, as I have, how my mind has really changed today. You know, the cool allows the mind to settle. The lack of smoke allows us to breathe and, to really appreciate the environment more instead of feeling like, oh, you got to stay inside and, be confined even though it's so hot out. So it's made me think a little bit about how all the fires in our part of the state is affecting us. And I really sense in the community that it's a very dominant thing in people's minds, because there is danger. And I was thinking how, it's so strange how we are, because we're very preoccupied with the fires of Eastern Washington, which, are around us. But we don't think about the fires that we could be born into in our next life. Which fires are going to be more painful? Next life's fires. Shouldn't we, instead of being so worried and preoccupied about this life, keep our mind in the Dharma, keep a virtuous state of mind, free our mind from anxiety by being aware of the possibility of fires in future life, and thus keeping our mind focused on practicing virtue and abandoning non-virtue, not on anxiety about what's going to happen in the next few days. Okay, you getting what I mean? Because I was thinking, we've made our evacuation plan. We're going to have a rehearsal of it. Hopefully we won't have to use it, but one never knows. Yeah, but, it's all about, well, how are we going to not only save our lives, but save the property, get the barricade on the buildings so the buildings won't burn, and the priority of the barricades, and how our escape route, and all of this kind of stuff. But a lot focused on, taking care of the property, packing our things. We all have to know what we're going to take, and then taking all the important papers for the Abbey and the whatever scriptures and statues we can have, and the mind's very focused on that. Actually, at the time of death, we have to separate from all of it. It's like gone. So, whenever we die, we can't take the Abbey with us. We can't take scriptures and statues. We can't take, keys and computers and that kind of stuff. We go on alone. Yeah. So, if we can save the property, very good. We've really tried to do our best to prepare. Certainly our lives are more valuable than saving buildings and things like that. So if it comes time to leave, we leave. Yeah, we have each other. When we die, we don't even have each other. So it's when we leave, maybe we have each other. We have the Dharma. When we die, we only have the Dharma. So we have to, really stay focused on what's important and not let the mind spin, because of the fire danger. It's there, but life goes on, and most important is our practice, creating virtue, abandoning non-virtue, purification, planting the seeds of the Dharma in our minds, cultivating bodhicitta, developing wisdom. These are actually going to be the best antidotes if we have to evacuate are the best things to take with us. Yeah, I mean, you take with a few suitcases, but if we take, if we have to evacuate, even in this life, the Dharma that we've practiced, that's in our mind, is the best thing to take with us, because that will make our minds peaceful and relaxed. Yeah, and enable us to continue, to practice wherever we are in whatever condition we're in. Yeah. Whereas, just letting the mind go to anxiety and too many plans, and it makes us wrecks now, even though nothing's happened yet. Okay? So let's really keep our mind focused on what's important for Mother Sentient Beings. And let's enjoy the cool and the rain while it's here. I was also reminded of when there was an earthquake in Seattle. I think it was around 2002. I wasn't in Seattle at the time, but our friend Li Shanghai was there, and he was translating for Kensar Wangdak, who was teaching at DFF at the time. So the earth started to sway, and Shanghai, kind of freaked, and he runs into the room with Kensar Rinpoche, and we've got to get out of the house, we've got to get out of the house. And Rinpoche stops and says, no, we have to take refuge. And so Rinpoche is sitting there like this while the earth is swaying. And Shanghai is thinking, we got to get out of the house. So, Rinpoche is really showing for us the example of what is most important when difficulties happen. Yeah, is turn our mind to refuge, keep our mind steady and focused. And so they, I know Rinpoche didn't get out of the house. I don't know if Shanghai left and ran out, left Rinpoche inside. Maybe the earth stopped shaking before he could decide. It wasn't a very long earthquake or a big earthquake. Yeah. It felt like a whole long time. But, compared, the one in Japan that caused the tsunami, that went on for like 4 minutes. So, this was not anything similar to that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's an experience to be in an earthquake, although I must say that earthquakes in the U.S. are different than earthquakes in India. Things sway in the U.S., but, they don't collapse as easily. In the earthquakes in India that I was in, we were really afraid the buildings would collapse right on top of us. And one of my friends was in a building that did collapse. It was built of just mud and stone, and that was the end of her room. that one earthquake. Yeah. So, yeah, we're fortunate to have good earthquake laws, and that are enforced, as well as good materials. And in India, they don't necessarily have the materials, and even if they have them, the laws, I don't know if they even have the laws, and even if they have those, you can bribe your way out of keeping them, but then it only harms you in the end. So, okay, so turn the mind to refuge. Then watch the swaying lamps. Actually, don't watch the swaying lamps. They come and they go. Keep your mind on refuge. Okay.